Hey everyone! So today I have probably a rather short video coming to you because I have absolutely nothing bad to say about these books. I sat there and I tried to think of things that I didn't like other than, the characters that you're not supposed to like initially, like the antagonist, and even he ends up becoming somewhat likable by the end of the two books. This is kind of a big thing now within the reading community. The duologies are the new trilogy. And honestly, I kind of like that. I like standalone books. I like duologies. I like trilogies just seem a little bit overdone, and some series of books I do enjoy, but occasionally it starts to feel like the author is just like drawing blood from a stone, and you're just like, is this ever going to solve itself? So it's nice to have a beginning, middle, end, and there you go. This is a really good example of that. You are not left with any strings untied. The author is Juliet Marillier. She's from New Zealand, and she's a really lovely lady. I've seen some interviews with her, and I can't for the life of me pronounce her last name. Marillier? Marillier? Okay, I'm going to stop trying because now it's just getting embarrassing. These books are not as well known as some of her other books. You might have heard of her because of her novel Daughter of the Forest, which I will probably have a review of after I finish that trilogy later on. I haven't finished the following two books. I've only read her first Daughter of the Forest book, and I liked it. I gave it 4 stars because her writing is just so incredible, but everybody raved and raved and raved about it, and I was not as blown over as I thought it was going to be. And then I picked up these 2 books. Wolfskin is the first, and Fox Mask concludes. They blew me out of the water. I can't even begin to describe to you the level of book drunk I was for days. It's not even a book hangover. I was book drunk. I was like, who am I? Where is this place that I am? Like, am I not in the Dark Ages Europe? Are you not a Viking? Like, it's just, I gotta stop. Somebody stop me, please. I've heard the series referred to as either the Light Isles or Children of the Light Isles, and I'm not quite sure which is official, but it's got something to do with the Light Isles. That's pretty much all I know. The first book is called Wolfskin, and it follows a young Viking named Eyvind, who as a young man makes a rash pact with a friend of his who has questionable morals, to say the least, whose name is Summerled. And they commit to each other as blood brothers, that they will stand by each other no matter what, come hell or high water. And that decision ends up haunting Eyvind for the rest of his life. Eyvind is determined to become an elite caste, a Viking warrior called a Wolfskin. After he becomes a Wolfskin, which has been his life's goal to become this elite warrior, he goes to the kings of their land, his court, where Summerled is now a courtier because he is from the upper class. And Summerled's brother is a very popular nobleman, unlike Summerled, and so that causes some major tension between the brothers. And Summerled is just a stinker. He thinks he's too smart, and he's just super negative, and poor Eyvind is just like do-de-do nice guy. He really is just a nice guy who, kills people for a living. And it's Dark Ages Europe, people, okay. This is what we're dealing with. His brother proposes to the king an idea to bring a group of his warriors, sailors, other kinds of pioneers, and set out for the west for a legendary series of islands known as the Light Isles, but they're based on the Orkney Isles, which are north of Scotland. So Eyvind and Somerled go with him to this series of islands, legendary islands that are all misty and mystical and fantastical, and this is where the fantasy really starts. Like, things are a little trippy, like when Eyvind is being initiated as a Wolfskin, but like this is where the fantasy, like this is why I love Juliet Marillier. Marillier. You can see that she's taken some research into credit, like about the culture, about the people, about their lifestyle, but and she's definitely setting it in our world, but with so much mythology in there that it's a fantasy. So it's really good. And on the islands, Eyvind meets the young princess of who is destined to become a priestess of their faith and their specific faith on the Light Isles. And then a whole lot of crap goes down. Whole lot of crap. And they fall in love. Duh. And woman writes a good romance, people. She really does. Ah. Within 10 minutes of finishing this book, I ordered the sequel. It's one of those, people, where you go right onto Amazon and go, click, mine. 3 days from now, it's mine. It's coming to me. So, anyway, that was Wolfskin, and it concludes with Fox Mask, which, if that's even possible, was even better than the first book. I don't even know. Like, if Wolfskin is a 5-star, I mean, we're going off the scale here for Fox Mask. We're looking at 5.5, 6 stars for this thing out of 5 stars. Yeah. Fox Mask follows the children of Eyvind and Somerled and the priestess from the islands whose name is Nessa. Those are the 3 principal characters that you can't get out of your head. You can't forget them. They are so well ingrained in you after reading Wolfskin. Nessa, Somerled, and Eyvind that you're just like, I've never seen such masterful character development in a fantasy outside of Tolkien. So the children of Somerled and Eyvind, who are the Eyvind's daughter Creda and Somerled's son Thorvald, who has never met his father, they are shipwrecked on a set of mysterious islands that they didn't even know existed, and are caught up in the middle of a civil war, essentially, in this little nation between 2 different societies on 2 different islands. And then there's a whole other island that's a complete mystery that can only be reached once a year because of these riptides that are constantly circling this island. And then there's a mysterious 3rd group that they're not sure if they're people, if they're like spiritual beings, what's going on this island. And it's got a lot to do with the civil war between these 2 groups that the children find themselves in. And what I really liked about this book, not only because of the mystery and why this conflict between these 2 people, these 2 groups of people had started, and what part the children of the Light Isles have to play in that, but also the romance. Again, she's an incredible writer of romance. And what happens, you don't expect it. You don't expect the people to get with who they end up with. And it's not like a cheesy triangle thing. It's like you honestly don't see it coming. You really don't. And then when it does happen, it's amazing. Sorry. It was just so good. I mean, I would definitely classify these as an epic duology just because of the scope and the detail in the world building is definitely worth giving that name to. And Juliet Marillier, I'm done. Anyway, she is fast becoming one of my new favorite fantasy writers. I have read these two, and then I read Daughter of the Forest, and I love that. And I have the other two books that I'm going to be reading later on, and I've got her retelling of Beauty and the Beast called Heart's Blood that I want to pick up, and she's got a bunch of others out there. She's just she's a prolific writer, but when she writes with quality, which is always really nice to see, because usually when you have an author that has a ton of books out, you see some books are really good and others you're like, wow, they really cranked this one out, didn't they? And I don't think she's that kind of writer. Just from what I've seen, what I've read, she seems to be a fairly consistent, high quality writer. And I highly recommend them. Highly recommend them. These suckers, I mean, this one is a little over 500 pages, and I read it in a day and a half. It was that good. I could not put it down. Okay, that's enough. Alright, see y'all later.